So today we're going to be taking a look at a very common filter in the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Stellantis, insert whatever make that they add on here, world. This filter fits your Hemis, a few 4-cylinders, a couple of 6-cylinders, but primarily is known for on the 2010 and newer Hemi 5.7, 6.2. And I believe 6.4 from what I've seen. That is the short number up there, MO-339. And if we look here, that is the US number. The 001 means unit quantity 1. This bottom number is a Canadian number. Once again, that means 1 to 001. You got a fancy QR code there. So, again, there's your part numbers. I purchased this from a local Chrysler dealership. Walked in, told them, give me an oil filter for a 2015 Ram with a 5.7 Hemi. And this is what they handed me. This is Mopar's main line of filters, your like OE equivalent filter. Looks like it's got a valve down in there that we can see nicely. So we're going to cut it open and check it out. So while researching this filter, I could not find any type of micron rating. There's a few web forums out there. One is hellcat.net, I believe, where someone says it's like 20% or 20 micron. But there's no actual hard facts to back it up. And I tell you right now, this outer shell is quite thin. We're already through that. Only thing Chrysler says is it offers better filtering capacity and capability than the leading aftermarket filter, which is kind of a generic statement to say, in my opinion. So, I'm going to do this one a little bit different. Oh, well, maybe not. All right. So, there's your top. Plenty of drain back holes there. There's the anti-drain back valve. And it feels just like every other one out there on the planet. It doesn't strike anything out of the ordinary. Here's the filter cartridge. And I prefer this design, personally. I love it when they have the metal end cap, where it's formed and they got the valve built in like this instead of that little plate that can pop off. I prefer this style, personally. Don't know if you can really see down in there. It's got a metal cage. There, now you can see. Not a fan of how small those slits are, but it must provide adequate flow, or Chrysler wouldn't lose it, because probably would result in a lot more warranty claims than they already have. It's got your typical spring. It's pretty stiff, and that is it. Back to the filter, got a metal band crimp right there. I prefer that over the glued. Looks like a pretty uniform distribution of pleats. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and count the pleats and I'll be right back. Alright folks, I am back, and as you can tell, I use an ink pen when I go around so I can make sure I don't double count a pleat. I counted 67 pleats on this filter all the way around. I think that is a record for a filter on this channel. I myself wouldn't have an issue running this filter, because you got to stop and think everything's coming this direction into it, pressurized, it's going to flow out those slits. I wouldn't have an issue using this myself, but I don't own a Chrysler product. So that's going to do it for this one. Please go ahead and share, comment, like, dislike. Let me know. I have no way of actually measuring the thickness of the pleats right now. That will be coming later on. I'll be cutting the filters in half, pulling out the material, measuring the thickness of them. At this time, I don't have a way of measuring the thickness just yet. Other than that, I just want to say thanks for all the subscribers. I just passed 100 subscribers, so that is awesome. And if there is any particular filter you want to see, comment about it below. I'm going to be trying to be getting into heavy equipment like Caterpillars, Cummins, Detroit Diesels, etc. I'll even different brand filters like Baldwin. You know, that's a filter you see out there in the heavy market, but not really too much known about them, at least from what I've seen. Anyways, I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one.